Before we start talking about buying a house, let's talk about buying a truck. You see, I had my truck for 17 years and it was a 19-year-old truck. But putting a new engine in and risking transmission issues just didn't seem to be a wise move. So I had to let it die and I had to go find a new one. Now it took me a couple of months to find that, but there was a certain truck I wanted to find. There were some criteria that I had that to me was non-negotiable. One is I wanted it to be a Dodge Ram because I really like the Rams. That's what my old one was. I wanted it to have no more than a certain number of miles on it, a year, how old could it be, color. I just didn't want a dark color. I didn't care if it was white, I didn't care if it was silver, but I just didn't want it to be a dark navy or black. And it needed to have an extended cab because my old one had an extended cab. Well, I drove my first one as a test drive and I discovered there's a difference in an extended cab and a crew cab. A crew cab has more leg room in the back seat and the bed is a little bit smaller. So I changed my criteria and made it to be a crew cab. That's all I was looking for. Price, mileage, age, some color, and a crew cab. That's all that I cared about. So I looked at several different vehicles. One of the ones I looked at actually had electronic mirrors that would close when you turn the vehicle off. They would close together and you wouldn't have to run by them. You wouldn't risk hitting them or hitting them with a person or with a vehicle. They would close. And I thought that's a pretty cool feature. I didn't add that, but I kind of would have wanted that. Anyway, the truck that I found that fit all of my criteria ended up being a really nice looking silver Dodge Ram, and it had four-wheel drive and it has a towing package for hauling a trailer. Now those are elements that I'm glad I have. I've never had four-wheel drive before. I do some towing with a trailer, but they didn't start off as the criteria of what I was looking for. They just came with the package. And I did forget one other criteria in my package. I needed to be able to connect my phone to the Bluetooth to listen to Spotify or podcasts without having to worry about all these kinds of cords and stuff going in. So my search for a truck got me the truck that I'm really happy with. It didn't have everything that I wanted necessarily. I had to put a spray-in bed liner. I had to add the steps to it that we can get into the truck easy because it's a little high up, but I was able to make it my truck. But it had the criteria of my must-have, and it had a few things that I wasn't even interested in that I like. Buying a house is the same way. It's very challenging in today's marketplace, especially with the mortgage rates the way they are. Before, you could just go buy a house and it didn't matter if it was all these extra things. Your payment would be low enough because interest rates were low enough. You could pretty much just go say, hey, I want that one, and go get it. It's not that way today. You have to be a little bit more discerning in that process. And here's one of the things that you need to hear from Danielle Hale, who's the chief economist at Realtor.com. She says the key to making a good decision in this challenging housing market is to be laser focused on what you need now and in the years ahead. Another key point is to avoid stretching your budget, as tempting as it may be given the diminished purchasing power. You have a budget. Hopefully you've already been pre-approved by a lender. If you haven't, you need to get pre-approval from a lender because that tells you exactly what a mortgage company is willing to lend you to make a payment on a house. You might think you can pay more money for it, and you might think that your monthly payment could be higher, but the bottom line is if you don't have somebody that's going to lend you that amount of money, it doesn't matter if you can make the payment. You can't go buy that house unless you save up for cash. So the lender needs to take a look at your income, your work history, the amount of money you have in the bank, your credit record, your credit score. All of those things come into factor for the lender to be able to say, I'll loan you X on your house. And that's where we start looking for it. Before you even start looking for the house, once you have that, go ahead and determine your must-haves. What are the non-negotiables that if the house doesn't have it, you don't even need to go look at it. So determine what those must-haves are. Certain features that you want, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, location, know what those are. And the better you have that narrowed down, the easier it is to fix. I only drove 2 trucks because I was able to look online at all the different options, filtering my criteria down, and I found 2 trucks. The first one was a no, but the second one, well, I've been driving it since August now, and I love it. Also have on your list some nice to haves, some things that if it worked out, if the right budget was there, I would like to have this. I would like to have had a sprayed in bed liner. I would have liked to have had a cover on the back of the truck. I would like to to have had the electronic steps that pop out when the door opens. Mine didn't have that. That'd have been nice to have them. I was able to add that. And then your dream stuff. If money was no option, if nothing else mattered, what are some features that you would really need if you found the right home and found the right budget? What would it be that you would really, really want to have, like a farmhouse sink or multiple walk-in closets? Those wouldn't be deal killers, but if you walked into a house that had all of your must-haves, a few of your like-to-haves, and then even your most outlandish, yes, we want this in the house, so that you know that when you walk in. The house that my wife and I live in now, it checked off the boxes. We knew when we were in the house that this was going to be what we bought, and we've been in it now for 7 years. We love it. It checked off all the boxes and then some. So when you finally created your list and you've categorized it in a way that works for you, let's talk about what it is you're looking for so that I can set up a search to help find you the home that you're looking for, so you can be confident in your decision to move forward with making that purchase, or confident in your decision that you need to keep looking. I hope you have a blessed day. Hi, I'm Jeff Jones of eXp Realty. Visit meetjeffnow.com to schedule a conversation for us to talk about your home buying goals so that you can make a confident decision, or visit readytobuyscore.com to discover how ready you are to buy. Have a blessed day.